Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the first qualifying event of the day, rolling on right now. Starting on the pole. At a watch, Massachusetts, the Warsaw, number 28 for Tim ProNyne. On the outside of road number 1, out of Chepachet, Rhode Island, that's the number 20, the Ford Auto Parts, Elmwood Auto, Meineke, sponsored number 20 for Doug Robertson. Starting next on the inside of North Kingston, Rhode Island, the Ron Chatterley owned number 11, it's the Big D Racing, sponsored automobile for Mike Chatterley. On the outside of road number 2, that's the Northeast Motorsports. This the final of 3 in a row, East Coast Collision number 13 for the van driver Bob Brewer. Peter Donato will roll off next. He's the impressive rookie on the East Coast Collision sponsored entry in the number 27, and he won. This driver won earlier here in the year. Driver number 7 out of Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts. That'll be the John Irrigation Company entry for number 7, John Avila. Adam Simmons will roll off next in the number 17 automobile. He'll start on the inside and on the outside in the 8th position. We'll get another weight. The Springs Auto sponsored number 8 for Brian Vincent. The 9th spot on the inside, driving the number 35 out of Cranston, Rhode Island, will be Dan Perry. On the outside of him, the number 94 for Portsmouth, Rhode Island's James Risinger. And we're flying around the field, the 11th position on the inside, with number 89. The Tracy Chevrolet Volkswagen sponsored number 89 for Scott Hughes. On the outside of him, rounding out the field, will be number 18 of Skip Potter. 12 cars are going to take the green flag for this qualifying event. Eddie Warren and Rocky Hudson are the two gentlemen up in the flag stand that are keeping this field under control. At the line, Eddie Warren lets him know that the next time by, when we hit the track, the field is going to be in the air. Tim ProNyne and Doug Robertson are going to bring the field down to the green flag, ladies and gentlemen. All 4 corner lights are out around the speedway. This lets the drivers know that the next time by when we hit this track, the green flag is going to be flying, and we're going to be underway racing. They run up to the hot line in turn number 3. The field starts to pick up the throttle. Tim ProNyne hits the button, the green flag flies away. Down into turn number 1, side by side, double line into turn number 2. Doug Robertson trying to get the advantage on the high side. They go down the back straightaway. Peter Donato with a good run for him. He goes to the outside, fighting for that second spot with the number 28 of Tim ProNyne. ProNyne now loses it on the inside. Contact with the front straightaway. The number 17 of Adam Simmons also involved, as is the number 11 of Mike Chatterley. The yellow flag flies on the field. We're going to slow everyone down and gather it all back up again. So the caution flag flies early on in this qualifying event. For the number 28 of Tim ProNyne, he lost it on the front straightaway, got a little bit sideways, came up the track in front of oncoming traffic. The number 11 of Mike Chatterley, well, he was just a victim of circumstances. It left him with nowhere to go. His lane of traffic was blocked, and of course, as you see, the collision ensued. One of the drivers that was also involved was the number 17 of Adam Simmons. Simmons was able to keep the car rolling, and he was able to make his way off the racing surface and back into the pit area. Hopefully, with a little bit of luck, they'll be able to get that car back out onto the track so he can finish his qualifying event. One of the drivers that is here tonight joining us, who is a former champion of the Formula 4s here, Bob Blanchett, who drives for Bayside Auto, who was a force to be reckoned with many, many years ago in the Formula 4s. He drove a familiar Volkswagen Scirocco number 82. And it's a very welcome addition to see Bob Brewer enjoying all the racing action here tonight. So a tough break for Mike Chatterley. Unfortunately, the Big D Racing Round Cycle Shop number 11. He'll leave on the hook that is known that a driver likes to be escorted off the speedway. Unfortunately, damages to that automobile. consolation and all feature event rounds. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some racing planned for you tonight. We've got a little bit of destruction with the Demolition Derby that's slated to go off later in the evening. And of course, the World Cup John Buffington, Wayne McConnell. And of course, they will be in competition here tonight, but some of the cars that are out on the track right now are one of the regular divisions that compete here each and every week here at the Seekonk Speedway, the ProNyne Flat Class. In the record books, and the rookie, Peter Donato, will start on the pole. Later tomorrow, he's going to run for the very first time driving a Pro 4 modified at the Thompson Speedway in Thompson, Connecticut. So Peter Donato is going to get to see what it's like to go really, really fast in the high-banked half-mile Thompson Speedway. But right now, we're back at the Seekonk Speedway, and the green flag flies. And the East Coast collision sponsor, number 27, Peter Donato, puts his foot to the floor and leads him down to turn number 1. He's got Brian Vincent and Bob Bruno right behind him. Vincent and Bruno are 2x2 as they fight for the runner-up spot. Both drivers throw it down into turn number 3. Vincent's got the advantage as they make their way off the fourth corner. And he comes to drive shaft number 8. Brian Vincent moves into the second spot now. Bob Bruno fighting with the number 7, John Villa now down the Royal Grove at the Speedway as the cars go 3 times 3 now off the floor. And Villa will make Bob Bruno slide back one more spot, moving Bruno back to the 4th position. And here comes Danny Perry in the Renault Power at number 35. He goes underneath Bruno. That is the fight for the 5th spot out there on the track. Halfway signal has been given from your starter, Eddie Mann. The leader continuing to lead the way with authority is the number 27, Peter Donato. He's got the advantage as he goes into turns number 3 and 4. A good battle for the 2nd and 3rd spots out there on the track. The number 7 and the number 8 of Brian Vincent. Vincent up on the outside now, the 35. Danny Perry sneaks underneath him. So does Bob Bruno on the number 13. They're dot down at the turn number 3 with the 2-lap signal coming out. Just 2 more laps or 2/3 of a mile. Number 27 of Peter Donato, who continues to lead the way down the back straightaway as the left flag flies now. Donato into turn 3 now, at turn 4. Hitting the left flag with one more turn back. John Villa runs in second. 3rd spot is the number 35 of Danny Perry. Perry now comes up with the back bumper of John Villa as they race down the back straightaway. Checker flag is already flying from your starter, Eddie Mann, and taking down the win is the number 27 of Peter Donato. He wins it over the number 7 of John Villa. Then it's the number 35 of Danny Perry. Right behind him, the DeStefano attorney at law, number 13 of Bob Bruno. And rounding out your top 5, I believe, was the number 20 of Derek Robertson. So your winner coming all the way from 5th spot is Westwood Motor Collision Sponsor number 27 for Peter Donato. He wins it, and we've got the 2nd of 2 qualifying events for the ProNyne race cars. They're now rolling out onto the track right now and starting on the pole. Massachusetts, that's the number 70. The other, Steve Cromwell. On the outside of road number 1. He's the owner and the driver of the number 29. That's Dave Saltelli. Up next is the Rosa Construction, number 81, about a Murphy. He'll start 3rd. He's out of Rochester, Massachusetts. And he sat in fourth. He will win his very first race this season. Place 0 for Dion. The fifth spot on the inside. Goes to East Providence. TG Regan Roses going out to right side. Number 36 for Joe Silva. And on the outside of Silva, out of Somerset, Massachusetts, riding the number 02, the Freetown sponsored entry for Kyle Casper. The seventh position on the inside will be the number 86. That's the Damon's Hall Custom. South Country Sun. Number 9 is the 9th position. He's got to come through around. He drives this great auto repair, Peter Van Kyle, number 9. And Massachusetts, also out of Space Auto Racing, Stephen. Seekonk Stacy Dice in the number 49. And on the outside in the 12th position, Jordan Dickinson, HX, Youth Auto House, number 030. It will be Scott Fitzgerald. Rounding out the field, riding the number 29. Racing at the tail of the field. Elected to go back in the pack at the start of this race. That's the Action Auto Parts sponsor number 29. But the field is set. They're going to 2x2, 2 abreast formation. Steve Cromwell and Adam Murphy are going to be the 2 men that start in the front row. We will bring the field down to Eddie Moore and Rocky Hudson's green flag. Assessing any debris, they're going to be stuck down on the speedway. Don't want any debris down on the track, of course. That can cut a tire and put you out of the race. Single file. Down the first straightaway with the number 81. That's Adam Murphy with Tom Barboza Construction Automobile. Firestone sponsored number 04. Paul Heon. Heon was first feature event this year on Saturday night, and running in the third spot will be the number 36 automobile, 31, I should say. Pictures tell each problem for Josh Hawkins. Now, Hawkins is a bit of a phenomenon, ladies and gentlemen. It's his first season racing in the Formula 4 class. He is a rookie. And the only man repeat that feat as he now sits atop the point standings in the orange and black number 00 that starts on the outside of row number 2. Adam Murphy, another leader who does set the pace and how fast these drivers come down for their start. Bringing him down for a pretty slow start. He wants to get a good advantage at the switch. When the field hits the hot line in turn number 3, they'll pick up the throttle. Adam Murphy puts his foot to the floor, and now as Murphy leads him across the line, he's got the lead as the field goes into turn number 1 with Paul Peon second. Right behind him, it's Joey Silver, then it's Josh Hawkins. Real wide now, down the back straightaway into turn number 3, with Bill Caswell in the center. Liquid Lee Hayes on the outside now. Hayes scissors him in the middle of the corner. He makes it 3 wide going into turn number 1. He's got big steam right there, his teammate off the bottom as they go down the back straightaway, 2 by 2. Hayes up on the outside, Brewer on the bottom, and those two drivers are fighting for the top 5 spot as Hayes now continues to use that second groove up on the outside of turns number 1 and 2 to try to take the foot spot away from Josh Hawkins as the halfway signal comes out. As they get the halfway signal, leading the way is the number 81 of Adam Murphy. Murphy feeling the pressures of the number 0, Paul Peon in the Dodge. As Peon now dives down to turn number 3, trying to get underneath Murphy as they come out the turn 4. He cannot get the job done. But action moves back to the 4th and 5th spots on the track between Lee Hayes, Joey Silver, the 00 of Josh Hawkins, and the 9 of Mark Brewer. Hayes now with good power on the outside takes that spot away from Josh Hawkins. He now is side by side with his teammate, the number 9 of Mark Brewer. But Hayes throws it down at the turn number 1, trying to go to the outside of the East Providence Auto Body, number 36 of Joey Silver. Silver on the bottom as he's side by side with Hayes, who is on the top as they come out the 4th corner, drag racing down the front straightaway into turn number 1. The white flag is up. There's only about a half a lap left to go, and Adam Murphy in the Tom Barboza Construction, number 81, continues to lead the way as the checkered flag flies, and taking down the win is the number 81 of Adam Murphy. He'll lead it over Paul Peon, Liquid Lee Hayes, Joey Silva, and rounding out your top 5 is the Sprague's Auto Repair, number 9 for Mark Brewer. Series rolls out onto the track right now. The Formula 4s have concluded with their qualifying event. And starting around the pole, he drives the number 44. That's the Stadium Motors automobile for a second-generation driver, Narducci. Starting on the outside, driving the number 7 is Bob Corral. And sitting on the inside, WEFT Auto, sponsored number 96 for John Greaves. John McCullough is sitting on the outside. He drives the Performance Cycle New England Dodge Dealers number 77. And starting next on the inside, it's the Cape Cod Aggregates. Number 0 for Matt Mediza. On the outside, driving number 94, it's Mark Wilbur, rounding out the field. The number 16 for Rich Sparrow. So New Dodge Dealers Legend cars are out on the track right now. These cars are unfamiliar to you, ladies and gentlemen. These are a spec car series. They use DOT stamped tires, the BF Goodrich tires. They also use a 1200cc Yamaha engine that puts out anywhere from 125 to 150 horsepower. They weigh on the average of 1,000 pounds. And it's a good way to start your racing career. Of course, it gives you the feel of what it's like to be in a race car. Rocky Hudson is up in the flag stand with the green flag in hand. The flag hits the stripe in turn number 3. They pick up the throttle, and the green flag flies around the road. And going down at the turn of the line, Ron Marducci leads it over John Greaves. Greaves flies in the second. A good battle between Mark Laviza and the number 7 Bob Carrero as they fight in turns number 3 and 4. Carrero pushes up the track just a little bit, and the number 0 Laviza gets underneath him. They go 2 by 2 down at the turn number 1. And they're fighting for the third spot. Diving down into the third corner still, the 7 of Carrero hanging top on the high side. So as they come up the fourth corner, the stadium leader is number 44 of Ron Marducci continues to lead the way. He's got a commanding lead, a half a straightaway advantage over John Greaves and the number 16 of Red Spargo. Spargo came from dead last in his qualifying event to move up to the third spot, but there's a good battle going on for 4th, 5th, and 6th between the 94 of Mark Largo, the 7 of Bob Carrero, and the number 01 of Mike Laviza. As Laviza gets the spot away from Bob Carrero, we've reached the halfway signal. Halfway to go with this qualifying event, and there's a battle for the runner-up spot between John Greaves and the number 16 of Rich Spargo. Greaves on the bottom, Spargo on the top, and he uses the highway to his advantage to take the spot away as he crosses the line. Now the yellow flag flies for a car spin down in turn number 2. That's the 01 of Mike Laviza. Laviza spins the car in the middle of turn 2. He draws the caution, and unfortunately for the Cape Cod Aggregate sponsored number 01, he'll find himself in the back of the pack on the restart. So we're going to double it up. Once again, all 4 corner lights are out around the speedway. Ron Marducci continues to lead the way. He had a commanding lead over John Greaves and Rick Spargo, about a half a straightaway advantage as he went down the back straightaway. Marducci wants to repeat that lead that he's got. Now on the restart, he picks up the throttle and turn number 3. We're underway racing one more time here with the New England Dodge Dealers Legend Car Series at the Seekonk Speedway. Marducci off the 2, leading the way. Greaves now up on the high side of Rick Spargo. Spargo throws it down underneath him in turns number 3 and 4. He takes the runner-up spot away as they cross the line. It's Marducci, Spargo, Greaves, the number 94 of Mark Lobo. Right behind him, it is Bob Carrero. And Carrero looks underneath Lobo as they go into turn number 3, where Lobo shuts the door and hangs top on the high side. He runs in the 4th spot, and the number 7 of Carrero rounds out your top 5. As the field crosses the line, bumper to bumper, Rich Spargo creeping up on the back bumper. Ron Marducci just chopping away at the lead that he had. When we were in the green flag conditions before the restart, the white flag comes out with 1 more lap to go. And if Spargo's going to do something, he better do it inside of the lap, because Marducci leads it as he goes down into turn number 3. The checkered flag flies from your starter, Rocky Hudson, and coming off the 4th corner and taking down the line is the number 44 of Ron Marducci. He wins it over Rick Spargo. The number 96 of John Greaves, the 94 of Mark Lobo, and the number 79 of Bob Carrero will round out your top 5. The second of 2 New England Legend Car heat races. From the track and starting on the pole, that is the pole advantage is number 74, Christian Carpenter. The 00, the Peter Valero will start on the outside of row number 1. And the WEFTI, number 36, of Greg Zika will start on the inside of row number 2. On the outside of row number 2, number 3, see that's Dwayne Kaufman. Ron Beebe in the number 38 is slated to start off on the inside, 3 miles back. And on the outside, driving the number 23, for Team White, it's Sean Buffington. And rounding out the field, one of the heavy hitters in the Manual Legend Car Series is the number 17. Coming all the way from New Jersey, it's Ben Seitz. Spectator drag drivers, to your cars, please. Spectator drag drivers, to your cars, please. Once again, spectator drag drivers, to your cars, please. Getting set and getting ready to go here. And the field picks up the throttle. Stan Carpenter leads across the line as the auger down at the turn of the line. The 00, Peter Valero, fighting the group. Number 36, he moves underneath. Valero as they cross the line. Valero hanging top on the high side. Now there goes Razika trying to fight in the bottom of turn number 3 to try to take the lead away from the number 74 and Stan Carpenter. Pull right now, down the front straightaway goes Len Beebe on the bottom of the number 38. He comes all the way from 5th position. Now, going down at the turn number 3, he's got the lead as they make their way off of turn number 4. In the copy heating, number 38, it's Len Beebe, followed by Ben Seitz in the number 17. Seitz came all the way from last position, from dead last to second on the field. Ben Seitz is charging hard. Good battles for the lead, good battles for 3rd and 4th. Sean Buffington takes that 3rd spot away from the number 36 of Greg Razika. Razika moving back 2 spots. And now taking over the lead as they go down the back straightaway is the number 17 of Ben Seitz. Seitz in that number 74, that number 17 Ford sedan. Crosses the stripe, he goes down at the turn number 1. Leading the way, Len Beebe 2nd, Sean Buffington. Then it's the 01 of Peter Valero. The 0, Peter Valero, I'm sorry, rounding out the top 5 is the number 36 of Greg Razika. The 2-lap signal has been given, just 2 more laps from your starter, Rocky Hudson, as the field comes off the 4th corner. And Ben Seitz continues to lead the way. Then it's Len Beebe, the 23 of Sean Buffington. Buffington is right here in the pass at the Seekonk Speedway. Pulls it up to the high side of Len Beebe, but he cannot make the pass as the white flag now comes out. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are nose to tail as they cross the line. And they come off at turn number 2, still nose to tail. And the number 17 of Ben Seitz has got a comfortable advantage over the rest of the field. He'll cross the line, taking down the qualifying event, followed by Len Beebe, Sean Buffington, the number 00 of Peter Valero, and rounding out your top 5, it's the number 36 of Greg Razika. So good, close, tight competition coming from the New England Dodge Dealers Legend Car Series. They retire off the speedway. They will back out onto the track for their feature event later in the evening.
we've got some good racing action so far this evening with the Formula 4 class, of course, with the New England Dodge Dealers Legend Car Series. They have just completed their qualifying events. Some good close racing, some good fast action. And very, very soon, we will get the spectator drags out here on the track. If you've never seen spectator drag racing before, well, if you've got a regular street car, a regular automobile with a legal insurance and registration, you can bring it out onto the track. You do one lap around the speedway with another competitor. You drag race them around the track, and whoever wins, well, they go on to the next round. It all keeps breaking down in a process of eliminations till we have only one remaining. When the final two cars race, they will do just 2 laps around the speedway, and whoever comes out on top, they're declared the winner. A couple of people we want to welcome here tonight to the Seekonk Speedway that are enjoying all the festivities. We want to welcome all of the people from the Herb Chambers car dealership and all of their employees for coming out here tonight. A big welcome to the entire gang from the Herb Chambers dealership, the family of dealerships that they have. And it's good to see some of the people that are spectating here tonight enjoying the show. We hope you have a good time. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, right on to the track. The spectator drag competitors. We've got some foreign cars out there. We see a couple of Camaros, some Firebirds, Monte Carlos, some Buick Rivieras, beautiful cars, some old, some new, some exotic, and some not. A few Pontiac Fieros, and of course, Ford Mustangs. Popular items here, and a Beamer. Now on the front straightaway, a BMW, and a Mitsubishi Eclipse. All cars, any types. You can even bring your pickup truck out here if you wanted to go racing and see what it's like to whip around the 1/3 of a mile Seekonk Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been informed from above that we've got 48 cars strong. 48 cars of spectator drag racing in the Spectator Drag Invitational. They're now out onto the track. They're still coming. They're coming onto the track. We've got some Volkswagens out there, a couple of Nissans, Ford Mustangs, Thunderbirds. I see a couple of old Cobra Mustangs, some classic cars, beautiful pieces of work. And of course, Honda CRXs, Chevy Camaros, Corvettes, and one Lincoln LLC. This is the first annual Alex Leal Memorial Spectator Drag event. Alex Leal, well, he left us just a short time ago. A big loss to lose him. So we won the first annual Spectator Drag Invitational in memoriam of Alex Leal. And we've got 48 cars strong. It's a welcome sight to see all of these cars out onto the track, some beautifully prepared automobiles. If my eyes serve me correctly, that's a Cadillac I see in the infield. And you know you're racing with style when you're racing with a Cadillac. and gentlemen, if you like the action that you're seeing here at the Seekonk Speedway, you can see our regular NASCAR sanctioned races every Saturday night here. This Saturday night, we've got our regular 5 divisions with a special truck race, of course. The Rainy Grands will be on hand, and of course, Saturday, the Atlantic Coast Old Timers will be here with their vintage race cars. So if you want to see some, if you think the action that you're seeing tonight is fast, you should come on out on a Saturday night and watch some of the pro stocks in action. 500 horsepower pro stock race cars ripping around this Seekonk Speedway at speeds better than 100 miles an hour. They are the premier division here for the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series. They race here each and every Saturday night. They're always a welcome sight here. And of course, you want to welcome Pepsi. And of course, ice cold King of Beers, Budweiser beer. You can stop at the beer stand over in turn number 4. If you're over 21 or 21, just turned 21, get yourself an ice cold Budweiser. And we've got 2 cars that are out on the track. Alan Calitri and Calitri and Joel Cotero, one driver from Johnston, one driver from New Bedford. A Ford Mustang versus a Chevrolet Camaro. Ford versus Chevy, right here at the start-finish line. Green flag flies and they're underway. And number 1, Alan Calitri, leads them at the turn. Number 1, Chevy, showing its power early on. Look at it go down the back straightaway. A lot of speed out of that Chevrolet Camaro. Beautiful car as he comes out the 4th corner. Up the line, he will take down the win. Good run for the Chevy Camaro. Yes. Water? Bring it onto the track next. Brad Johnson and Pedro Pereira. The Honda versus the Chevy Camaro. Green flag flies. They're underway, and the Honda is showing the Pontiac turns in. How it's done, but the Pontiac battles back on the high side, getting a little bit sideways. Goes the Pontiac still getting a little bit sideways in the middle of the corner. Off the 4th corner, checker flag flies, and showing the Honda the fast way around the track is Carlo Di Ferrara. He wins it. Good run for him. We've got 2 beautiful cars out on the track next. That is the Edmund Pitsley in the 72 Monte Carlo and the 1980 Chevy Camaro of Brad Johnson. He's out of Dayton. Pitsley out of Rehoboth. And they're up at the starting line. 81 now down behind the wall. Chevy versus Chevy here at the start-finish line. Camaro versus Monte Carlo. Green flag flies. We're on the way, ladies and gentlemen. Smoke show going down at the turn of the line. And the classic car, the 1972 Monte Carlo shown. The 1980 Chevy Camaro had to get down the back straightaway. Here comes the Camaro on the outside, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him slide up high, up the 4th corner. It's going to be a race to the line. And one of the race to the line is the 1972 Monte Carlo for Edmund Pitsley. He will go on to the finals. Up next, coming to the line, William Figueroa and Darwin Wilkerson. 1980 Chevy Camaro and the 81 Buick Regal are going to go out of here. Red versus black on the front straightaway. The Regal versus the Camaro. Green flag flies. Here we go. And the Regal filters on the start just a little bit. That gives the Camaro the advantage that he needs. Darwin Witherspoon out of Rehoboth goes down the back straightaway with a comfortable advantage over the Buick Regal, the 1981 Buick Regal of William Figueroa, and coming to the line, winning it with authority is the 1980 Chevy Camaro of Darwin Wilson. car fun coming out onto the track, and it is Jamie Buffalo versus Matthew Miller. The 85 Volkswagen Scirocco versus the 78 Ford M22. And the Scirocco's got the advantage. Volkswagen power. The driver's wanted, and that driver is going down the back straightaway with the lead over the Ford, the 1978 Ford. As the Volkswagen showing the fast way around the speedway, comes off the fourth corner and wins the race handily over the number 9 of Jamie Buffalo. Two Chevy Camaros moving on to the track, old versus new, purple versus red, and it's going to be Arthur Miak, the fourth, the 81 Chevrolet, and David Brightman in the 1986 Chevy Camaro. Brightman runs in the spectator drugs very often here at the Seekonk Speedway. He's always a welcome sight. Number 12 versus lucky number 13. Green flag flies. We're getting going here at the Seekonk Speedway. The purple Camaro, the 81. The 86 Chevy Camaro goes down the back straightaway. That's David Brightman. He's got the advantage as they go down into turn number 3 and 4 over the number 81 Chevrolet Camaro. And taking down the win is the number 12, David Brightman. He runs it with authority, and he'll go on to the finals. Next. We've got Pontiac versus Toyota, Ford versus Domestic, Reyes and Robert Linkley out of Lincoln, one driver out of Florida River. Eddie Moore asking the drivers if they're set to go. Green flag flies along the way. The Toyota gets the advantage on the start, going down at the turn number 1. He leads it, but they come up the turn number 2. The NR2 trying to pick up the pace, speeding on the back straightaway, losing control. How about that? 360, ladies and gentlemen, turns the car completely around, but winning the race is the number 14 of Reyes. And unfortunately, the Toyota NR2 will retire for the night. Eric Morrissey in the 1987 Ford Mustang. Coming around is going to take on Eric York in the 87 Chevy Camaro. So it's a classic battle of Ford versus Chevy. Who's going to win it, ladies and gentlemen? Good start for both drivers. And the Camaro, the IROC, leads it down into turn number 1. The Mustang now on the bottom, front and back, a good race down the back straightaway. The Camaro now up on the outside of the track, forward a little bit of spots. That's going to give the Mustang the advantage that he needs. Off the fourth corner, taking down the lane, coming from behind. It's the Ford Mustang of Edward Morrissey. They go down the left straightaway, look for the Camaro to go to the outside and try to take the lead away, but the Cadillac continues to lead the way. The Eldorado showed the lead Eldorado as they come off the fourth corner and winning the event. Big round of applause, winning and racing in style is the 95 Cadillac Eldorado Viscount Golf. Once again, another American car versus Japanese. The James Martin versus number 44. Minta Jacobs in the 89 Nissan Stillen Maxima goes down the left straightaway trailing. Martin in the 1980 Chevy Camaro. The Camaro leads the way. The Stillen is trailing by not by much. They come across the line, and he is the number 41 of James Martin.
Coming out onto the track right now, ladies and gentlemen. The Camaro versus the Nissan. The number 43 of Gary Miller.
Versus the number 45 of Paul de Oliveira in the 95 Nissan 200 SX. They're at the start-finish line. Black versus gold. The Nissan on the inside, the Camaro on the outside. Eddie Morin telling both drivers to wait just one moment as they tell the Nissan, the white Nissan rolling off the speedway, that he does not make it to the finals. Talking about drivers, letting them know that the green flag's going to go. Here we go. Look at the power of the Camaro. Showing the Iceberg of the fast way around, but the Nissan is looking to come back on the outside. They go down the back straightaway. The Nissan now up in the high side. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 2x2 car battle, side by side. The Nissan up on the top, the Camaro on the bottom, and winning it. So close is the 1980 Chevy Camaro of Gary Miller. He takes down the win. Jason Matten drives the 1990 Ford Mustang. He's out of South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. And on the inside is the Ford Mustang number 20. Is the 47 of Michael Downey. Downey now going down the back straightaway. Mustang versus Mustang. That's the 92 Ford Mustang GT versus the 90 Ford Mustang. They come off the fourth corner. Sliding it sideways is the number 20 of Jason Matten. He wins it over Michael Downey. And Matten will go on to the finals. Two cars up next, the Volkswagen, the number 46 are Jose Rodriguez and Dennis Moran in the 88 Ford Thunderbird. The Thunderbird trailing the Volkswagen as the Volkswagen goes down the back straightaway with the lead. He's out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And Rodriguez rolling through turns 3 and 4, knowing that he's got the win in command, and comes across the line with his win over Dennis Moran in the number 48 1988 Ford Mustang. Number 24 of Ian Gustini and Stefan, wow, this is some name, Cam Suyong in the 1990 Honda CSI. Sanepit Cam Suyong. I believe that's the name. If I screwed it up, I'm sorry, but I'm sure I'm not the first person to do it. The 1990 Honda going up against the 89 Pontiac Le Mans. The Pontiac on the outside gets the good start, but The Honda on the bottom. The Honda leading going into turns number 1 and 2. Here comes the Pontiac on the outside. American Muscle showing its way as they dive down into turn number 3. Look at the Le Mans throw it down into turn number 3 and 4 side by side. They're going to come across the line and leading the event and winning it is son of it, Cam Soo Young. That 16 letters in that last name, ladies and gentlemen, and it was hard enough to pronounce. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the crowd favorites are out on the track. The 82 Corvette of James McDonald and Dennis Rebello in the 1999 Honda Civic. Both drivers leaving the line very, very quickly. The Herb Chambers sponsored number 21, 1999 Honda Civic. Come on, let's hear it, the Herb Chambers crowd. Let's hear some noise. Yeah, cheer them on as they get the green flag. And they go down into turn number 1. And the Honda comes down to the outside. Dennis Rebello very fast on the back straightaway over the 82 Corvette of James McDonald Jr. James McDonald Jr. trailing the Herb Chambers at the page. Honda, the number 21 of Dennis Rebello. So Dennis Rebello wins the event for the Herb Chambers crowd. And he will go on to the finals. Cars out on the track, Stephen Pimentel and Andrew Taylor. The Camaro versus the 69 Shelby Cobra. The Cobra on the outside, the Camaro on the inside. Ford versus Chevrolet, and the Chevy gets the good start as they go into turns number 1 and 2. The Camaro on the bottom. Andrew Taylor out of Taunton, Massachusetts, races down the back straightaway. Rumford, Rhode Island, Steve Pimentel trailing by just a little bit. A beautiful 69 Shelby Cobra coming off the 4th corner. The checkered flag flies and taking down the win is Andrew Taylor. The brand new the 2000 Honda Civic of John DePietro. So it's Y2K automobiles going out of here. Honda versus Toyota. Who's going to win it, ladies and gentlemen? The Honda? The Toyota? We're going to find out as the Honda leads them going down into turn number 1. Leads it over the brand new Toyota Celica. The Celica trailing the Honda as John DePietro continues to lead the way as they make their way off the 4th corner, coming across the line, and winning it is the red Honda Civic of John DePietro. Another one of the Herb Chambers sponsored automobiles comes out onto the track, the number 22 automobile. The 22 being driven by Brian Stefort in the 93 Civic and the 88 Honda CRX of Ren Kunwai. Kunwai in the Honda. Sport in the 93 Civic. They get the green flag. And there they go, racing down into turn number 1. The Honda on the bottom. The Honda on the outside. The Civic versus the CRX as the 93 Civic goes into turn number 3, comes up high just a little bit and coming across the line. Winning it is the Honda Civic, or the CRX. They're both Hondas. I gotta get my Hondas straight. 2 more cars coming down onto the track. Honda versus Chevrolet. The 28 versus the 27. David Alves versus Jeffrey Montero. The 78 Chevy Malibu versus the 1988 Honda CRX. Alves out of East Providence. Montero out of Dayton, Massachusetts. They get the green flag. and they go down into turn number 1. The Malibu on the bottom. The very fast, very agile Honda on the high side, taking the lead, going down the back straightaway, leading it into turn number 3. Look at the Malibu rocking and rolling as they come off the 4th corner. Checkered flag flies for the Honda CRX of David Alves. He wins it over Jeffrey Montero. The 34 versus the 30. Ron San Giovanni Jr. in the number 90 in the 95 Ford Mustang and the 79 Camaro of Daniel Donahue Jr. The green flag flies. Ford versus Chevy one more time as the Ford goes into turn number 1 up on the high side. He's got the advantage. He goes down the back straightaway, and he's going to lead it over the Camaro of Daniel Donahue. Daniel Donahue trailing by just a little bit. They come off the 4th corner and winning the event, taking down anyone's checkered flag is the Ford Mustang of Ronald San Giovanni Jr. A battle of the Thunderbirds is coming out on the track. Mark Tornado versus Steven Damaris. Damaris in the 89 Ford Thunderbird. Tornado in the 96 Ford Thunderbird. So it's the 89 versus the 96. Rolling up to the line, both drivers getting even at the stripe. Ford versus Ford. T-Bird versus T-Bird. Old versus new. Who's it gonna be? Green flag flies. We're underway. The 31 and the 29 racing down into turn number 1. Mark Donato in the 31. The 29 of Stephen Damaris in the 89 Ford Thunderbird. He trails by just a little bit as they go down into turns number 3 and 4. The green over the silver car. They come off the 4th corner and take it down. The win is the number 31 of Mark Donato. Robert Lewis Jr. in the number 33. That is a 1972 Pontiac Grand Prix versus the 1970 number 32 of Paulo Real. Paulo Real out on the track racing for Alex Leal tonight in the first annual Alex Leal Memorial. Getting ready at the line, 2 cars from the 1970s, the Ford Mustang versus the Pontiac Grand Prix. The Grand Prix on the inside, the Mustang on the outside. Who's it going to be? How many Pontiac fans we got out there? How many Ford fans? Come on, I can't hear you guys. This is good action you're seeing here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway. Pontiac versus Ford. Herb Chambers is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a great crowd on hand. Flag flies, we're underway. The Pontiac leads it going down into turn number 1, but keep an eye on the number 7, the 1970 Ford Mustang of Paulo Real. Real trails just a little bit. They go down the back straightaway. Smoke coming off of the Pontiac Grand Prix. In turns number 3 and 4, they're off the 4th corner, and taking down the win is the number 33 of Robert Lewis Jr. out of East Providence. We're now into the finals, ladies and gentlemen. The process of elimination continues. We will continue to break down the cars until 2 remain. And in the end, only 1 man will stand alone. Alan Calitri versus Carlo Ferreira. The 86 Pontiac Trans Am. The 1980 Chevy Camaro. Pontiac versus Camaro here on the front straightaway. Green flag flies. And look at the good jump that Alan Calitri gets going down at the turn number 1. He's got the advantage in that red car. Red versus black on the back straightaway. But here comes the Firebird going down at the turn number 3, pushing up the track just a little bit. And off the 4th corner, coming very, very close. But winning the event is the number 1 of Alan Calitri. Bubba the way, guys, some of your insurance adjusters are here sitting in the crowd tonight. They're watching what you're doing with your vehicles, and I think you're going to get a note from them during the week. But who cares, because this is spectator drag racing at its best. Darwin Witherson and Edmund Pitsley, the 72 Monte Carlo versus the 1980 Chevy Camaro. It's Monte Carlo versus Camaro, Chevy versus Chevy, red versus white. On the front straightaway, Eddie Morin gives him the green flag. We're underway, racing again. Side-by-side action. Go the Monte Carlo of Edmund Pitsley on the outside, 2x2. Here comes Witherson on the bottom, Pitsley on the top, side by side, and winning the event. A good run, good power on the outside for the 1972 Monte Carlo of Edmund Pitsley. He wins it. How about a good round of applause? Good close racing at its best, ladies and gentlemen, tonight here at the Seekonk Speedway for the Spectator Drag Invitational. Attention in the grandstands, Rhode Island registration QB553. QB553. Please move your car in the pit area. We need it moved as soon as possible. Rhode Island registration QB553. Please move your vehicle. We're now into the finals, ladies and gentlemen, breaking down all of the drivers. It's a process of elimination until one man stands alone. Coming out onto the track right now, Chevrolet versus Volkswagen, the number 12 versus the number 3. The 12 being driven by David Brightman, the 3 being driven by Matthew Muller. The Scirocco versus the Camaro. Muller out of Barrington, Brightman out of New Bedford. Lining up here on the front straightaway, Eddie Morin with the green flag in hand, asking both drivers if they're ready. They're ready. We're going racing here at the Seekonk Speedway. Down at the turn number 1, the Scirocco on the bottom, Brightman on the outside, they're battling, and Brightman's got the power in the V8 going down at the turn number 3. Brightman wiggles just a little bit off the 4th corner, and he takes down the win coming across the line. Up next, out onto the track, we've got the Ford Mustang versus the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Edward Morrissey and Philip Riccardi are going to go at it, side by side. Morrissey out of Cumberland, Rhode Island. Riccardi out of Rentham, Massachusetts. Rhode Island versus Massachusetts. How many people from Rhode Island we got here in the house tonight? How many people from Massachusetts? How many people don't care? You just want to party? Yeah! We're underway. The Mitsubishi Eclipse out on the high side. He leads it going into turns number 2. Philip Riccardi showing the way around. He's running ahead of Edward Morrissey in the 87 Mustang. The Mustang trying to catch up to him. They come off the 4th corner. Both drivers side by side. And winning the event is the number 17 of Philip Riccardi. Volkswagen versus Honda, the number 46. Volkswagen rolling up to the line. That's Jose Rodriguez versus the number 25. This guy's got some name on him, ladies and gentlemen. Sonifant Kam Soo Young. I believe that's the way you pronounce it. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I apologize. But all it matters is the racing here, and we've got a good race going down into turn number 1. The Volkswagen and Jose Rodriguez leading the way over the number 25 of Sonifant Kam Soo Young, as Kam Soo Young trails going into turn number 3. But look at him catch up as they come off the 4th corner. And coming across the line, winning the event, is the number 46 of Jose Rodriguez out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Scott Groff in the number 40, racing in style with a Cadillac Eldorado versus the Pontiac Fiero. This is going to be some battle, ladies and gentlemen. The Fiero on the outside. the Cadillac on the inside. Pawtucket, Rhode Island versus Fall River, Massachusetts. Here on the front straightaway. Green flag flies. We're underway and going into turn number 1. The Fiero leads it. That's Louis Dallas. In the number 14, but look at the Cadillac battle back on the inside. They go down into turn number 3. Both cars push up the track. The Fiero slides up the track just a little bit and just misses, hitting the outside retaining wall. Just a little bit. That's right, guys. Just a little bit. So we're looking for people. I think we got some people out there that want to see some cars scrape the outside concrete. Yeah, I hear you out there. You guys want to see some insurance prices go up. That's what I think. Jason Matten, driving the 1994 Mustang versus Gary Avila in the 1980 Chevrolet Camaro. Seekonk, Massachusetts versus Pawtucket versus South Providence, Massachusetts. Good battle going down into turn number 1. The Mustang battling back from the Camaro on the outside. The Mustang of Jason Matten side by side with the Camaro. The Mustang up high, spinning the car, getting a little bit sideways, and coming across the line with the win is the number 43 of Gary Avila. He wins it. Smoke show, ladies and gentlemen. Donuts. Smoke show for the Mustang. The Mustang of Jason Matten, always the showman, doing some donuts in turn number 1. Look at the smoke over there. We've killed the mosquitoes here at the Seekonk Speedway here tonight. Dennis Rodell in the number 21 versus James Martins in the 80 Camaro. Pawtucket, Rhode Island versus Seekonk, Massachusetts. Camaro, Honda versus Chevrolet. Foreign versus domestic. How many foreign car fans we got in the house tonight? How many Chevrolet fans? Looks like we got a few more Chevy fans than we do Honda. But we've got 2 cars that are set to do battle here on the front straightaway. James Martins in the number 41. Dennis Rodell in the number 21. 1999 Honda Civic versus the 1980 Chevrolet Camaro. On the front straightaway, Eddie Moore as both drivers at the ready. Good run for the Hope Chambers. No, good run for the Hope Chambers. Honda on the outside. Good battle going down the back straightaway and side by side going into turn number 3 as one driver locks up the brakes, stomps on it. I think he lost a little bit of nerve and coming across the line. Winning the event is the number 41 of James Martin in the 1980 Chevrolet Camaro. Too bad for Dennis Rodell. He's got a good cheering section down here on the front straightaway. Herb Chambers detailed on the side of that Honda Civic. And unfortunately, he will park it in the pit area. He will not make it into the finals. The Pontiac versus the Camaro. The 1981 Chevrolet Camaro being driven by Andrew Taylor. The 33. 1976 Grand Prix driven by Robert Lewis Jr. Taunton, Massachusetts versus East Providence, Rhode Island. Here on the front straightaway, green flag flies. We're underway, and the Camaro gets the advantage going into turn number 1. The Chevrolet Camaro leading the way over the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix trailing down the back straightaway. Andrew Taylor in the Camaro in turns number 3 and 4, but here comes the Grand Prix battling back on the bottom. It's not going to work, as taking down the win is the Camaro of Andrew Taylor. Rhode Island registration QB553. Rhode Island registration QB553. The tow truck is on the way, so whoever is the owner of Rhode Island registration QB553, your car is going to be leaving the track on the hook. Green flag flies for the Ford Mustang versus the Ford Thunderbird. Mark Donato versus Ronald San Giovanni. San Giovanni in the Mustang leads it down the back straightaway over the T-Bird of Mark Donato. Side by side. Both drivers slid just a little bit off the fourth corner and taken down the win is the Ford Mustang of Ron San Giovanni. Attention, Massachusetts license plate 801 WSX. 801 WSX. Your lights are on. 8 Massachusetts registration. 801 WSX. Your lights are on. Up next out on the track, it's the Honda CRX of Glenn Kunwai versus John DePietro in the 2000 Honda Civic. The 2000 Honda Civic on the inside, they battled turn number 1. Honda Civic versus Honda CRX. The Civic leads it down the back straightaway over the Honda CRX as they go into turns number 3 and 4. The red car, the Civic, comes off the fourth corner. He's going to take down the win, ladies and gentlemen. The process of eliminations continue, and Alan Calitri and Edmund Pitsley are both drivers who have won 2 races thus far. And this race is going to decide who goes home to Grandma. And we've got the 72 Monte Carlo on the inside of Edmund Pitsley and the 1980 Chevy Camaro on the outside of Alan Calitri. We're at the line. Quick flag flies from the starter, Eddie Warren. We go into turn number 1, and Calitri's got the advantage over the Monte Carlo of Edmund Pitsley. Pitsley trailing, going down the back straightaway here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway as they go into turns number 3 and 4, sliding the car in turn number 3. Tough break for Edmund Pitsley. He parks the car for the night. Two drivers coming out onto the track next. Mitsubishi versus Chevrolet. David Brightman, a man who is no stranger to racing in the spectator drags here at the Seekonk Speedway, versus Philip Riccardi out of Rentham, Massachusetts. Riccardi in the 1996 Mitsubishi Eclipse. The green flag flies, and we go down into turn number 1. And David Brightman may be in jeopardy of not making it into the finals tonight, as he has won here in the past in the spectator drags. He goes down into turn number 3, trailing the Mitsubishi Eclipse, but they come off the fourth corner, and the Eclipse is going to win the event. Volkswagen versus Pontiac. Here we go. The Fiero versus Parfignugan. On the front straightaway, Jose Rodriguez in the 87 Volkswagen and Louis Dias in the 87 Pontiac Fiero. Both cars from 1987, but one driver is going to walk away with the win. Eddie Morin getting both drivers lined up evenly at the stripe. He's going to point to both drivers. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go racing. The green flag flies, and leading it going into turn number 1 is the Volkswagen of Jose Rodriguez. Jose Rodriguez on the bottom, and the Fiero is on the top. That's Louis Dias. They go down into turn number 3 and 4, and both cars are side by side, and we've got one car getting a little bit sideways, spinning it on the front straightaway. One car losing it. That is the Fiero of Louis Dias. He now spins the car around. I gotta ask this because I think you guys are out for blood. You guys want to see someone whack the wall, don't you? Do you want to see one driver hit another driver? That's not what we want to see, because these cars are street legal automobiles. And I'm sorry, but you're going to watch. Both drivers are going to be on their toes. And we've got 2 new drivers at the start-finish line. James Martin versus Gary Amura. Camaro versus Camaro. Going into turns number 1 and 2. The black Camaro on the bottom, the gold Camaro on the top as they go down into turns number 3 and 4. Smoke show from both automobiles, but they come off the fourth corner, and taking down the win is the number 41 of James Martin. So I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. No car has hit the outside retaining wall just yet. However, the key word here is yet. versus Chevrolet coming out onto the track. The number 19 versus the number 30. The number 30 Ford Mustang being driven by Ronald Sangiovanni and Andrew Taylor in the 1981 Chevrolet Camaro. Taylor out of East Taunton, Massachusetts. The Ford Mustang of Wallingford, Connecticut's Ronald Sangiovanni. So it's Connecticut versus Massachusetts. One driver coming from all the way from Wallingford, Connecticut. There's a welcome sight here at the Seekonk Speedway. The green flag flies. We're underway and leading it into turn number 1 is the Chevrolet Camaro of Andrew Taylor. Taylor leading going down the back straightaway, but the Ford Mustang of Ronald Sangiovanni is up on the high side, trailing the Camaro as they come through turns 3 and 4, following them across the line, and oh, so close. Oh, so close to that outside retaining concrete goes the Ford Mustang of Ronald Sangiovanni. Eddie Moore, who's down on the front straightaway, said that that Ford Mustang missed the wall, ladies and gentlemen, by just 6 inches. Just 6 inches, the Mustang missed the wall. So we're sorry to disappoint you, not just yet. No one has kissed the outside retaining wall. But we've got Jose Rodriguez on the front straightaway with John DePietro in the 2000 Honda Civic. Volkswagen versus Honda on the front straightaway. The Volkswagen leads it going into turn number 1. And coming off of turn number 2, the Volkswagen of Jose Rodriguez continues to show the fast way around as the Honda trails by just a little bit, but they come across the line. And I see that we got a good cheering section in the Herb Chambers group down here on the front straightaway. We're sorry, guys, that your guy did not win. I know, I see you throwing your arms up in the air, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's all about good, fast competition, and that's what we've got here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway. Oh, baby. Camaro versus Camaro here on the front straightaway. 2 Z28s are going to go at it. Red versus black. Let's get ready to go racing. The number 41 of James Martin in the 80 Camaro versus Alan Calitri in the 1980 Camaro also. So 2 1980 Camaros here on the front straightaway. Eddie Martin's going to let him go. And we're going racing, going down into turn number 1. Alan Calitri, who has won here many times in the past, earlier this evening, leads going down the back straightaway. He has a good advantage over the 1980 Camaro of James Martin as they go into turns number 3 and 4. Coming across the line, slowly across the line. Oh, come on, we want to see you with the hammer down. And Tyler's squealing, guys. The number 41. The number 46 of Jose Rodriguez. That little Volkswagen's been hanging tough all night. Versus the 96 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Jose Rodriguez a little bit early on the switch to 17. On the outside, that's the Mitsubishi Eclipse of Philip Riccardi up on the high side. They go into turns number 1 and 2. Riccardi on the outside, the Rodriguez automobile on the inside, the Volkswagen. Looks like he's going to go home to grandma as they come off the 4th corner. And taking down the win is Philip Riccardi. Two more Camaros are going to go at it, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a night of Camaro racing. Camaro Z28's on the front straightaway. Alan Calitri, who has won here in his earlier races tonight, and Andrew Taylor, another winner. Both drivers are going to go at it. One driver is going to go behind the wall and pocket for the night. Green flag flags are on the way, and look at the good jump that Calitri gets on the outside in that red Chevrolet Camaro. Alan Calitri goes down into turn number 1 and 2. He's going to win it as he comes off the 4th corner. Takes down the win. We started with 48, and now we're down to 2. We're going to go 2 laps around the speedway, ladies and gentlemen. 2 laps for both drivers. Alan Calitri in the Chevrolet Camaro versus Philip Riccardi in the 1996 Mitsubishi Eclipse are going to go at it. They're flipping a coin for lane choice to see who's going to start where. How many people want to see the Camaro win tonight? How many people want to see the Mitsubishi Eclipse walk off with it? We're going to find out in just 2 laps. The final round, we do 2 laps around the speedway. Camaro versus Mitsubishi. Chevrolet. Old versus new. Foreign versus domestic. It's going to happen in just a few moments. Alan Calitri has been very fast in his earlier races. He's won each time. Philip Riccardi is also a winner who has won each time. We started with 48, and in 2 laps, we're going to be down to just 1 winner of the event. Eddie Martin at the start-finish line with the green and checkered flags. He knows we're going to do 2 laps. Both drivers know they're going to do 2 laps of racing here around the Seekonk Speedway. Green flag flies, and we're underway. 2 more laps. We're going to decide it, and what's going to happen. Alan Calitri leads going down the back straightaway. Philip Riccardi trails him, but not by much as they go into turns number 3 and 4. Right on his back bumper comes Philip Riccardi. The white flag flies one more time around the Seekonk Speedway as we go into turns number 1 and 2. It's a close race as both drivers come off the 2 down the back straightaway. Riccardi pushes up just a little bit, loses some valuable ground, but they come off the 4th corner. The checkered flag flies, and winning the event is the number 1 of Alan Calitri. I hear some people chanting USA out there. Come on, let's hear it. Chevrolet Camaro takes down the win. USA! USA! Come on, guys! So he came through a field of 48 cars. He was the one man that's going to stand alone tonight in the Spectator Drag Invitational. The number 1, that is now number 1 out of Johnston, Rhode Island, the 1980 Chevrolet Camaro, Alan Calitri, ladies and gentlemen. So Alan Calitri comes back to the line. He returns the checkered flag to starter Rocky Hudson. He takes down the lane, coming through a field of 48 cars. Takes down the lane. The number 1 comes out on top. So we've got some good friends joining us here in the grandstands tonight. We'd like to say hello and welcome to Debbie the Ladybug and Paul and Adam Sylvia. Want to say hello to them. We want to thank them for coming out here to the Seekonk Speedway tonight to enjoy the Spectator Drag Invitational and the school bus demolition derby that will be held and will be the finale for tonight's event. How many people want to see some twisted metal here tonight? How many people want to bend some steel? How many people have had a beer? Well, with all of that going on, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to ask everyone to please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps. The New England Dodge dealer Seekonk Speedway Dodge Dakota track truck is on the front straightaway. And we're going to kick off this party tonight with the playing of our national anthem. Seekonk Speedway, God bless the U.S. with the playing of our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's main event time. Here at the Seekonk Speedway, we've concluded with all of the spectator drags. The qualifying races have been run, so now it is time to make a run for the win in the main event. It's the last chance for romance, as all of the racing competitors are going to come out onto the track in just a few moments. I also want to let you guys know that if you stop down to the program booth here at the Seekonk Speedway, where they sell the Seekonk Sentinel, the official program here at the Seekonk Speedway, you can win a big red boat cruise from Premier Cruise Lines. Sign up an entry blank and put yourself in a drawing to win a big red boat cruise, which is courtesy of Premier Cruise Lines, the official cruise line of NASCAR. They are officially licensed by NASCAR as a cruise line, and you can win a big tonight. And starting on the pole, out of New Bedford, Massachusetts, it's the number 70 of Steve Cromwell. Starting on the outside of row number 1 out of Chepachet, Rhode Island, the Foreign Auto Parts sponsor number 20 for Derek Robertson. A big birthday wish goes out to Kelly Carr, who is the sister of Bob and Mike Broder. Happy birthday to you from Bob and Mike Broder. And Bob Broder will start third on the inside in the East Coast Collision sponsor number 13. Outside, driving the East Coast Collision sponsor number 27, it will be Peter Donato. He won his heat race earlier in the evening. Starting next, on the inside, a driver who also won a heat race, wants to repeat again in the feature. The Tom Barboza construction number 81 for Adam Murphy. On the outside of Adam Murphy, driving the number 6, it will be Joey Silva out of East Providence, the CG rigging entry. John Avila will roll off next out of Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts. The John Avila Irrigation Company number 7. And on the outside, driving the number 86, it will be Bill Clyde Caswell, the Damon's Hardware sponsored entry. The 9th spot on the inside will be Josh Hawkins in the number 00. He sits atop the point standings, and he is the leading rookie here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway. On the outside, it's the number 35 of Cranston, Rhode Island's Danny Perry. Big Steam, Mike Broder will roll off next in the Springs Auto Repair, number 9. And on the outside in the 12th position will be James Rizzler. He's out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island, in the number 94. The 13th position on the inside will go to Fall River, Massachusetts, number 10 for Lee Hayes. And on the outside of him, the number 89 for Scott Bukes. Papillon will roll off next. He's in the 15th position. He's out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And on the outside, it will be the number 17, starting in the 16th position for Adam Simmons. The 17th spot goes to number 03 for Scott Fitzgerald, the Dickinson sponsored entry. And on the outside of him will be the number 18 for Skip Potter. Kyle Casper will roll off next in the 19th spot. He's out of Somerset, Massachusetts, in the number 02. And on the outside of him, the number 28 of Tim Foran. He's out of Rochester, Massachusetts, the Allure Salon sponsored entry. Dean Saratoga will roll off next in the number 29. He will roll off in the 25th spot. He's out of North Providence, Rhode Island. Mike Chatterley will roll off next in the 22nd spot in the number 11. He's out of North Kingstown, Rhode Island, the Ron Cycles sponsored automobile. And rounding out the field in the 23rd spot will be the number 8 for Richard Sprague Auto Repair, sponsored number 8 for Brian Vincent. 23 cars, ladies and gentlemen, 20 laps to be the distance, and in the end, only one man will stand on top. So Bob and Mike Broder, who start near the front of the field, want to wish a very happy 18th birthday to their sister, Kelly Carr. Happy birthday, happy 18th to Kelly Carr. Coming of age, turning 18 today. A good birthday wish coming from your brothers, Bob and Mike Broder. Laps to be the distance. Steve Cromwell and Derek Robertson are going to bring the field down. Bob Broder and Peter Donato. In row number 2, John Avila and Joey Silva in row number 3. Adam Murphy starts inside of row number 3 in the Tom Barboza sponsored automobile. Getting ready, ladies and gentlemen. 2 by 2 is how we like to go. In turns number 3 and 4, blue flag flies and we're underway. Into number 20 has the advantage as they come off the second corner. He leads it. Peter Donato comes in the second spot. The number 27, he's battling with Adam. The number 70 of Steve Cromwell. Cromwell on the bottom. Bob Broder in number 13. He rounds out your top 5 with Joey Silva alongside of him. 2 by 2 from Phil Kahn back. The number 7 of John Avila on the inside. 3 wide now. Adam Murphy tries to go 3 wide and turns number 3 and 4. As he comes off the fourth corner. And moves Joey Silva off the track just a little bit. Adam Murphy is starting to come to the front in the right number 81. Now he goes 3 wide once again. Down the back straightaway to go to the outside. And the top 5 position will go to Adam Murphy as he battles with John Avila for the number 7. Goes through turns 3 and 4. And number 20 of Derek Robertson continues to lead the way with the 27, the rookie Peter Donato in second. Then it's Bob Broder in the 13. The 7 of John Avila. A good battle for the 5th spot between the number 35 automobile of Dan Perry and Adam Murphy in the number 81. Perry on the bottom, Murphy on the high side, but right behind him, the 2 men that have got the most wins here this season are Mike Broder and the number 10 of Liquid Lee Hayes. 3 wide going down at the turn number 3. Hayes on the bottom. Murphy gets a little bit sideways in front of him, but he gathers it back up. And Lee Hayes in the number 10 is starting to come to the front. Cars go down at the turn number 3 and 4 with sheet metal banging. The 13 of Bob Broder gets a little bit sideways. Adam Murphy's got some exhaust trailing on that automobile. Now the 7 of Avila gets turned around. And he slides up the track. The yellow flag flies. So 7 laps, ladies and gentlemen, are in the record books. 7 laps down, that finds Derek Robertson leading the way. He is your leader, followed by Peter Donato. Then it's the number 13, for just the final attorney at law. Sponsored automobile for Bob Broder. He sits in the 3rd spot, 4th spot. Airport Auto Bodies. Trades Repair, number 10 for Liquid Lee Hayes. And right behind him, these 2 drivers. The 10 and the 9 have the most wins here this year out of all of the drivers, with 4 wins apiece. 3 wins, I'm sorry. 3 wins apiece for Liquid Lee Hayes and Mike Broder. So the points going into tonight's race, Josh Hawkins, the rookie in the number 00, sits atop the points with 316. Mike Broder ties him with 316 points and 3 wins to his credit, the number 9. Then it's a 35 with Dan Perry. Lee Hayes rounds out the top 4 in the number 10 with 302 points and 3 wins to his credit. And Mike Hayes rounds out your top 5 with the number 85. Once again, Derek Robertson leads it down into turn number 1. Liquid Lee Hayes now on the bottom. They go down the back straightaway. The number 27 of Peter Donato on the outside, 3 wide in turns number 3 and 4. Hayes goes up on the high side. Mike Broder now comes underneath. He takes the spot away from Peter Donato. They're having a feeding frenzy on the number 20 of Derek Robertson. Robertson on the bottom. They go down into turn number 1. And Robertson holds that 2nd spot over Mike Broder. Your new leader is going to come across the line is the number 10 of Liquid Lee Hayes. Hayes now battling on the outside. He has the lead. We're halfway completed with this feature event. 10 laps down, 10 to go. Hayes up on the high side. Mike Broder following right behind him as we're going to turns number 1 and 2. Now the little bumper of 2. The number 20 of Derek Robertson, the blood and black flag being thrown for 1 driver. A back marker, but the leaders come across the stripe. Liquid Lee Hayes leads the way. Good run for the number 20 of Derek Robertson. He's led up to the halfway point. Single file down the back straightaway. Lee Hayes leads it over Derek Robertson, Mike Broder, Danny Perry, and Josh Hawkins. Hawkins rounds back to the top 5. Billy Silva and Heath Providence Auto Lab, number 36, sits right behind him. And right there battling side by side is the 86 of Bill Caswell and the number 0 of Paul Peon. Peon up on the high side, Caswell on the bottom. Caswell now takes the spot away from the 4th corner, but there's a battle shaping up at the front of the field between the number 9 and the 35. The 9 of Mike Broder up on the high side. Danny Perry in the number 35 also battling with him. He runs in the 4th position. 5 laps. 5 more laps to go around the speedway. The front, the number 10 of Liquid Lee Hayes out in front. Good battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Out there on the track, 1 driver, Josh Hawkins, getting way sideways as he comes off the 4th corner. He runs to the top 5. Derek Robertson covering that low line down the back straightaway. Hill comes off the 4th. Liquid Lee Hayes, each and every lap, is starting to walk away from the rest of the field as Derek Robertson now is on the inside. Mike Broder up on the high side with 2 more laps to go around the speedway as Hayes leads it, and Mike Broder is looking for a way to get past the number 20 of Derek Robinson. One car spinning into the infield. That's Bill Caswell in the 86. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go around the speedway. And we've got a good battle shaping up for second, third, and fourth. And 35 is Dan Perry is looking to go underneath the number 9 of Big Steam, Mike Broder. Broder sneaks up the track just a little bit, and Perry sneaks underneath him. But coming off the fourth corner and taking down the win is the number 10 of Liquid Lee. He wins it over the 20 of Derek Robinson, the 35 of Danny Perry, and the number 9 of Mike Broder. So coming all the way from unlucky number 13th position, he makes it his lucky number tonight. Taking down the wind, cutting through the field like a hot knife through butter, is the number 10, the Sprague's Auto. Sponsored automobile for Liquid Lee Hayes. He takes down the wind, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to come back up to the line to your starter, Eddie Morin and Rocky Hudson, to accept the laurels of victory and do his victory lap around the 1/3 mile Seekonk Speedway. Attention all spectator drag drivers. Attention all spectator drag drivers. Your cars need to be moved from the scale area in the pits. Attention spectator drag drivers. All of your vehicles need to be moved from the scale area. So we've got the New England Dodge Dealers Legend cars out on the track right now. So starting on the pole. For the Legends feature event is the number 44 of Ron Narducci. On the outside, all the way from New Jersey, it's the number 17 of Ben Seitz. Rich Spargo will roll off next, and the number 16 on the outside of him will be the McCarthy. Heating oil service number 38 for Len Beebe. The WEFT Auto, number 96 of John Greaves will roll off next, with Sean Buffington alongside for the ride. The 94 of Mark Waldo will start. Ron Rose back on the inside, and outside of him in the 8th position will be the 00 Peter Valeri. The 9th spot will go to Bob Carrero in the number 7 Rhode Island, and Greg Wazika will go on the outside in the 10th spot. The 11th position on the inside will be the number 01 of Mike Rabiza, and on the outside of him, the 74, the Polar Beverage sponsored automobile for Stan Carpenter. Wayne McConnell will start next on the inside, and on the outside of him, the 3C of Dwayne Coffin. Ron Narducci and Ben Seitz are going to bring him through the line. The field picks up the stripe and turns it to 3. We're underway racing. Going down the back straightaway, Ron Narducci leads it over Ben Seitz. The number 16 of Rick Spargo in for 3rd. Len Beebe on the outside. Top 5. Buffington on the bottom is the number 23C. We've got 2 cars going around. Contact is made over in the corner. Sean Buffington hits the outside wall. The 1 car involved the number 36 of Greg Zika. Rich Sparkle turned around as well as the number 00 of Peter Valero. We got a few birthday wishes going out here tonight. We would like to wish Chelsea McSermith a very happy 13th birthday. She's visiting from West Palm Beach, Florida. So Chelsea McSermith, happy 13th birthday and welcome to the Seekonk Speedway all the way from West Palm Beach, Florida. Another happy birthday wish goes out to Coco. Happy birthday to you, love Jackie. And also, Massachusetts registration, a brown GMC pickup, 801 WSX, 801 WSX. Please report to your vehicle. Massachusetts registration, 801 WSX. It's a brown GMC pickup truck. Please report to your vehicle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the spectator drags here tonight, and it sounded like you did, how many people enjoyed the spectator drags tonight? Yeah, well, we have a lot more to offer you, and especially coming up on October 29th. It's going to be our second annual Halloween happening, ladies and gentlemen. A good, safe night for family, friends, and the children. October 29th. Just a few days before Halloween itself, we'll have the second annual Halloween Enduro with mini cups, baby glands, spectator drags, guys. I know you guys like the spectator drags. They're going to be back. Street Stocks, Formula 4s, there's going to be a Halloween costume contest where we're going to pick the best costumes, the most original costumes, and some of the wildest looking monsters you can think of on Halloween. And of course, for the children, there will be trick-or-treating and a whole lot of candy to be given out. But right now we're back to the New England Legend Cars. Featuring a head that finds the number 44, Ron Narducci, out in front. On the outside of him, it will be the number 38 of Lynn Beebe, John Greaves. And the number 96 on the inside. And on the outside, the 74 Polar. Rocky Hudson, the man with the plan, up in the flag stand at the stripe. Turn number 3 gives him a green flag. Ron Narducci on the back straightaway runs in the second spot. The number 96 is John Green's in for third, fourth, and Stan Carpenter. That is how we run across the line. And now he's traveling down into turn number 1 and 2. Ron Narducci trying to catch up to the back bumper, the number 38 of Len Beebe. Beebe has raced here many times in the past. He's come so close to winning. He's a front runner here at the Seekonk Speedway. As the two leaders are on a breakaway, first and second, Narducci and Beebe. Beebe coming off turn number 4, John Green, number 96. He runs in the third spot, battle with the number 74. Of Stan Carpenter, but right behind him, watching it all happen, is the number 23 of Sean Buffington. Buffington now goes to the inside of John Greaves, and they dive down into turn number 3. Buffington gets loose in front of Buffington. He spins down into the infield. That car under control. He makes his way back out onto the speedway. Ron Narducci, the second-generation racer, runs in the second spot. Third spot is Sean Buffington. If he's going to do something, he better do it soon. Because the laps are starting to tip away. And as they continue to tip away, it's the number 38 of Len Beebe showing the way around the speedway. Laps around the track. And we get the halfway signal. I'm sorry, the halfway signal. The halfway signal is got from your starter, Rocky Hudson. Your leader, the number 38 of Len Beebe, is in traffic. He's trapping number 3 sitting in front of that Green Coffin. Two drivers battling in turn number 1 and 2. The 77 of Ray McConnell. He puts McConnell away, and now he goes to the outside of the number 01. Of Mike Rubiza. Rubiza on the bottom. He's in jeopardy of going a lap down. He does go a lap down as Beebe dives down into turn number 3 with Ron Narducci fighting to get through the lap traffic. Narducci had a little bit harder of a problem getting through the lap traffic. Then Beebe here with the number 38. Beebe continuing to lead the way, puts a little bit of daylight between himself and the number 44 of Ron Narducci. Now, third place driver Sean Buffington is in the middle of all of that that's going on. Down to turns number 3 and 4. Buffington drives the number 23 for Team White. The 23S goes down into turn number 1. He gets past the lap traffic now. All 3 leaders traveling down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Track advantage over the number 23 is Sean Buffington. Buffington had an accident earlier in the day. He had to go into the pits and get his car repaired and make his way back out onto the speedway. However, Len Beebe comes off the fourth corner. He comes across the line, continuing to lead the event with Ron Narducci second. Sean Buffington, good battle for third. Now on the track. Cars starting to space themselves around the speedway. And in just a few laps, we're going to see the 2-lap signal from your starter, Rocky Hudson. Rocky Hudson with the 2-lap signal in hand, letting Len Beebe know. In just 2 more laps, of 2/3 of a mile, he's going to come home with the checkered flags. He's got a few more lap cars in front of him as he goes down the back straightaway and drives into turn number 3. As he rolls through turn number 3 and 4, Rocky Hudson's going to wave the white flag, the pro flag, as they also call it, for one more time around the Seekonk Speedway, and a host of cars are right in front of Len Beatty as he goes down the back straightaway. And he goes into turn 3 and 4 now, off the fourth corner, and taking down the win is the number 38 of Len Beatty. He wins it over the 44 of Ron Narducci, and here's the third. It's the 23 of Sean Burlington. So when it was all said and done, charging hard from his fourth place starting spot on the outside, driving the McCarthy heating oil service, number 38, it's Len Beatty, ladies and gentlemen. He takes down the legend car feature event. So coming back to the line, winning the Legends feature event, the number 38, Len Beatty, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone through all of the races, we've shown you the spectator drags, and now it's time to save the best for last. Coming out onto the track right now, you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, School Bus Demolition Derby. How many people want to bend some steel? Are you ready to wreck some school buses? Well, so are the drivers. The drivers are coming out onto the track right now. In driving the number 15 school bus, it will be Wayne Plank out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island from Thunder Racing. Driving the number 51, it will be Dave Robinson from R&M Racing. He's out of New Bedford, Massachusetts. Leslie Hornberger, they call her the Speed Witch, the driving image sponsored number 2 out of Burlington, Connecticut. And the man that will round out the field will be Mark LaRosa, the crew chief for the Thunder Racing team. The green flag flags and we're underway. We're going to be doing a 10-lap race, and a 10-lap demo. I'm sorry, a 10-lap demo around the speedway. And I've been informed that we're doing a 10-lap race, a 10-lap exhibition race around the speedway for school buses. We're going to have school bus racing out on the track, and then we're going to beat the hell out of these school buses and twist them apart and break some windows and twist some steel. The number 2, the Speed Witch, Leslie Hornberger, is on the outside of Crew Chief Mark LaRosa. He's out of Groton, Connecticut. As we've got two drivers going down the back straightaway fighting for his third and fourth. The number 51 of Dave Robertson and Wayne Plank battling for positions as Plank is out on the outside. Both of these drivers side by side. They're going to turn number 1 and 2. Not what I was expecting as a school bus demo, but they're going to do a 10-lap exhibition run, and then we're going to start smacking them into each other. But just remember, ladies and gentlemen, with all of that going on, if you enjoyed the spectator drag races tonight, and it sounded like a lot of you did, coming up at the end of the season, on October 29th, it's the second annual Halloween Enduro. We call it the Halloween Happening here at the Seekonk Speedway because it's for friends, family, and children of all ages. They're going to have mini cups on hand along with the baby grands. Spectator drag races, guys, they're going to be back. The street stocks, the Formula 4s, and of course a costume party. A costume contest for everyone that shows up with a costume. There are going to be awards given out for the most original and the best dressed and the scariest looking monsters. And of course, trick-or-treating for the children and the kids. While the buses continue to stay in 2x2 formation, I'm waiting for them to start beating the crap out of each other. And we got the 2-lap signal as they go down the back straightaway. Hit the turns number 3 and 4. All 4 school buses are side by side. 2 more laps around the track. For the school buses, a good battle up in front. Mark LaRosa continues to lead the way, with the number 51 of Dave Robinson moving to second, and then it's the number 2 of Leslie Hornberger as they go down the back straightaway. Runs in third. Wayne Plank rounds out the top 4. And we got the white flag coming out one more time around the speedway. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, just a third of a mile to go. And then we're going to start bending these school buses in the school bus demolition derby. I don't know about you, but I'd rather see them start hitting each other. How about it? Yeah, I share the same sentiments as you. Waiting for these drivers to run their race so we can twist some steel. So the checkered flag flies on the event, and taking down the win is crew chief Mark LaRosa. He's the crew chief of the Thunder Racing Team. He's out of Groton, Connecticut. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It is time to start ripping them up, rocking and rolling, and twisting some steel. School bus demolition derby. They're going to go in 4-point locations at the X. They're going to aim right for each other, and then we're going to let them go. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a video of this and if you enjoyed your night, you can stop over to the tower. To Frank and Helen's Videos, place your order for any of the school bus demolition derbies we have on hand. Here they go. They're going to switch positions because we're going to see them back into each other. Eddie, are we doing a countdown? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's wreck some school buses! Here we go. Boom! All right. Twisting these things like twisted metal. All of them bumping and banging. Starting to go. As we got one more shot coming up. Boom! A big shot. Another shot from behind. Waiting for the speed witch to put the bus, not the car, put the bus in gear so we can get going. One car pushing another one around. Another shot. Boom! Come on. How many people want to see one of these buses tip on over? That's what I'm waiting for. Another shot right there. A good shot right there in the middle of the speedway. Leslie Hornberger, they call her the Speed Witch. Sits in the center of the track. Another shot, twisting some school buses. Boom! Another good shot right there for the number 51 of Dave Robinson. Leslie Hornberger once again, bang, in the corner. And here we go, sandwich him. Ah, hard shot right there. How would you guys like to see these things rolling up to your bus stop, getting ready to come to school for you? How many kids we got out there that are loving this, that are loving seeing these school buses crash into each other? How about my friends down in the front straightaway from Herb Chambers? How do you like this tonight? Bending some steel, breaking some glass, and twisting some metal. The school bus demolition derbies are happening right here. Big shot in the corner right there. Another shot right there. We're watching buses get up on two wheels, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Backing them up once again. Big shot. Boom! Yeah. Starting to twist the bus. A little bit of sparks flying right there. How many people like to see sparks flying? Yeah, another hard shot for the Speed Witch and Wayne Plank. Another good shot. Here we go, again. Oh, he's chasing him. I think he's a chicken. Chicken, he's running for cover. Another shot coming up. Big shot. Oh, he got on the brakes. He chickened out. Here we go. Waiting for some drivers to line them all up so we can do some serious hitting again. Leslie Hornberger blocking a big shot right there. Boom! Yeah, how do you folks like that one? Waiting, boom! Another shot. Oh, we got one truck up on two wheels. Boom! Sounded like a tire went right there. All of these buses are really starting to twist apart here in the front straightaway. Well, I should say in the infield. I got the whole crowd, my friends here on the front straightaway, watching all the action here tonight at the Seekonk Speedway for the Spectator Drag Invitational and the School Bus Demolition Derby. Another shot right there. Into Leslie Hornberger goes Mark LaRosa. We've got one bus with the front end ripped off. Wayne Plank just annihilated the front end of that bus. Take it to the salvage yard because that thing is junk. See that? We got the front end falling off. Looks like the engine is about to rattle off the front of the 15. It appears to be that the 15 is done for the night. He doesn't seem to be moving that bus. Trying to get these buses turned back around. Mark LaRosa, the 51 of Dave Robertson, and the Speed Witch of Leslie Hornberger all remain. They're the only ones that remain standing. Uh-oh, they're going to gang up on crew chief Mark LaRosa, getting him turned around. Big shot right there, taking out the front engine for Mark LaRosa. We've got one lady demo driver out there, the Speed Witch, Leslie Hornberger, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him rip the side off of that thing. These buses are barely running, smoke billowing out of the front end of one bus. Another bus ripped apart on the side. One bus with the back of it gone. Shot, big shot, tipping it over, come on. Fire underneath the hood. Here we go. We've got a big fire down there. Anybody got any marshmallows to roast? Red flag flies from your starter, Eddie Morin. We need the fire crew down there. They're going to put out the fire that's under the hood of Mark LaRosa's truck. Dave Robinson. Leslie Hornberger still remains. Wayne Plank in the number 15 is out of it. Mark LaRosa climbing from his vehicle. Big round of applause. Look at that. He's a fireball. Mark LaRosa Bringing it up to the crowd as the fire goes out in that school bus. The fire crew's on hand, putting out the fire underneath that one. Wayne Plank is out of his school bus. He's done for the night. Big cheer for Wayne Plank, putting on a show for you here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ed, are we getting ready to throw the green flag for more school bus wrecking, or how many are going to remain? We've got 2 drivers down. 2 buses remain, ladies and gentlemen. The red flag is out around the speedway. The only female driver out on the track, Leslie Hornberger, they call her the Speed Witch, remains. Another driver parked over in the corner. They're trying to see whose school bus is actually left running. Two buses remain. We started with 4. We're down to 2. Wayne Plank and Mark LaRosa are out of it as far as winning the event goes. We're getting ready to go back to green. How many people want to see this bus and start wrecking again? Yeah, school bus demolition derbies. The only place you're going to see it is right here at the Seekonk Speedway. Red flag still remains out on the speedway. The fire crew is pulling off of the track. We've got the 2 drivers that cannot make it to the end. They are off the track. The Seekonk fire crew getting ready to park behind the wall. And very, very shortly, we're going to throw the green so we can finish wrecking these school buses. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that this Saturday night we're going to have our regular 5 divisions of speedway racing. The green flag now flies. Let's wreck some school buses. Here we go. Boom! Big shot. Big shot right there for number 51 of Dave Robinson. Robinson hits the Speed Witch right in the back of the bus. Here comes the Speed Witch battling back. You got to take out the front end of the bus. Of course, everyone wants to protect the front end because that's where the radiator of the engine is. Big shot right there. I hear some glass breaking. You know what? I say that they go after 2 of the park buses and try to tip one over. Big shot right there for Leslie Hornberger hitting with the front of the bus. You don't really want to do that, but Hornberger using the front as a battering ram. They want to use the back as a battering ram, and the checkered flag flies. And it's over, ladies and gentlemen. So the checkered flag flies on the event. Not sure who won the event yet because both buses came to a stop. And the only woman in the field out of all the school bus demolition drivers are being told wins the event, the Speed Witch. Leslie Hornberger shows the guys how to do it and wins the school bus demolition derby. How about a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Give it up for the Speed Witch. Bow down. Bow down to the female, Mark. Bow down, I'm sorry, Dave. Bow down to the Speed Witch. She showed the men how to do it. And she wins the school bus demolition derby. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we're going to call a night. You can catch us in action each and every week here at the Seekonk Speedway. We have our regular divisions that compete in the NASCAR weekly racing series. On behalf of the entire staff and management here at the Seekonk Speedway, and for the family of the late, great D. Anthony Vendetti, we like to say, save the racing for the track. Thanks for coming out. Please drive home safely.